I had been out that night with a buddy of mine. A couple of guys came up and got me from behind.
The internet exploded in 2025 with shocking claims that Richard Rawlings had been sentenced to prison, with some videos even showing fake courtroom collapses and life sentences. But here's what actually happened to the Gas Monkey Garage King, and the truth is far more incredible than any clickbait headline. Rawlings didn't disappear, get imprisoned, or fade away. He broke free from corporate chains, survived million-dollar lawsuits, and built an empire that makes his TV days look small. When Fast and Loud suddenly vanished from Discovery Channel in 2020 after 16 successful seasons, fans were left wondering if something sinister had happened behind the scenes. The show had built a massive following, pulling in over 3 million viewers at its peak, yet it disappeared without warning. For years, Rawlings stayed silent about the real reason, until he finally spilled everything on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. The truth wasn't about ratings or budget cuts, it was about control. Discovery had locked Rawlings into a contract that would fine him $25,000 every time he spoke negatively about the network. Even worse, he couldn't start any new projects without Discovery's approval, essentially making him a prisoner of his own success. Rawlings revealed that he and his team wanted to create more complex builds and longer-form content, but the network's rigid format kept forcing them into artificial deadlines and manufactured drama. He was stuck in what he called a rut, watching his creative vision get suffocated by corporate restrictions. The final straw came when Discovery refused to let him launch his own podcast, despite his contract allowing it. Rawlings realized he had two choices: remain a corporate puppet forever, or walk away from millions of dollars to reclaim his freedom. He chose freedom. But the cracks in the Gas Monkey empire had started showing years earlier. In 2017, Aaron Kaufman, the bearded master fabricator who fans considered the heart of the show, mysteriously vanished from Gas Monkey Garage. Kaufman had been Rawlings' right-hand man, the guy who could turn rusted scrap into automotive art. But their relationship had soured behind the cameras. Kaufman later revealed that he left due to creative differences with Rawlings, claiming the show's impossible time constraints were destroying his passion for building cars. The departures didn't stop with Kaufman. Tom Smith and Jordan Butler, two other beloved cast members, also left after what Smith described as a disturbing incident involving Rawlings and a young fan with cystic fibrosis. According to Smith's account, when the fan approached one of Rawlings' cars for a photo, Rawlings allegedly used profanity to order the child away from his vehicle. The incident reportedly disgusted Smith and Butler so much that they quit the show, eventually starring in the spin-off series Misfit Garage. These exits weren't just personnel changes, they were warnings that Rawlings' ego and need for control were pushing away the very people who made Gas Monkey Garage special. The two men who once seemed like brothers had become enemies, with Kaufman starting his own shop and barely speaking to Rawlings. While Rawlings was losing his team, his business partners were preparing to take him to court. In 2018, Gas Monkey Bar and Grill, a restaurant venture that Rawlings had co-founded, filed a shocking $6 million defamation lawsuit against him. The lawsuit painted a picture of a man who had become impossible to work with, claiming Rawlings had made deliberate and deceitful attempts to break his contracts while spreading lies about his business partners. Daniel Flaherty, the bar's managing member, accused Rawlings of disrupting construction, insulting workers, and falsely claiming that financial records were missing or incomplete. The lawsuit revealed that Rawlings had been actively trying to sabotage deals when a third-party buyer wanted to purchase Gas Monkey Bar and Grill, allegedly telling them that his partners were dishonest thieves. When confronted about his behavior in a 2016 email, Rawlings reportedly apologized, saying, "My mistake for mixing drinking and emotions." The legal battle turned ugly, with both sides throwing accusations at each other, but it was eventually settled out of court in 2020. The restaurant changed ownership and was later rebranded as Amplified, after closing during the pandemic. This wasn't just a business dispute. It was a pattern of behavior that would define Rawlings' reputation for years. Throughout this period, Rawlings' personal life was equally chaotic. His second marriage to Suzanne Merschel had been a roller coaster of divorces and remarriages. They first divorced in 2009, got back together in 2015, then divorced again in 2020. Rawlings blamed his constant travel and busy schedule for the relationship's failure, but those close to the situation suggested his ego and need for control played a bigger role. His first marriage to Karen Grames in 1993 had lasted only 1 year, setting a pattern of failed relationships. The chaos in his personal life seemed to fuel his professional controversies. Former employees described a workplace where Rawlings' mood swings and demanding personality created constant tension. He was known for explosive outbursts when things didn't go his way, and his need to be the center of attention often overshadowed the craftsmanship that should have been Fast and Loud's focus. Industry insiders whispered that Rawlings had become too big for his boots, treating his success as permission to treat people poorly. These weren't just rumors, they were documented in lawsuits, employee departures and public feuds that painted a picture of a man struggling with fame and power. The chaos reached a peak in 2025, when fake news stories began circulating that Rawlings had been sentenced to prison. YouTube channels with clickbait titles like "Richard Rawlings sentenced to imprisonment, goodbye forever" racked up millions of views by claiming he'd collapsed in court or received a life sentence. These completely fabricated stories played on fans' memories of his legal troubles and the mysterious end of Fast and Loud, creating a perfect storm of misinformation. The rumors gained so much traction that major automotive forums were debating whether the Gas Monkey King was really behind bars. Rawlings himself had to debunk these rumors on social media, posting photos from his garage and restaurant ventures to prove he was free. But the fake stories revealed something important. Many fans genuinely believed Rawlings could have ended up in prison given his history of legal battles and controversial behavior. The clickbait creators knew exactly which buttons to push, using his past lawsuits and aggressive personality to make their lies seem believable. These weren't random hoaxes. They were calculated attempts to profit from Rawlings' controversial reputation and his fans' genuine concern about what had happened to their automotive hero. But here's what actually happened while the rumor mill was spinning out of control. Far from being imprisoned, Rawlings had been building the empire he'd always dreamed of. After leaving Discovery in 2020, he launched his own YouTube channel that now boasts over 600 videos and complete creative freedom. Without network restrictions, Gas Monkey Garage began tackling insane projects that would never have fit into a TV episode format, like building a 6x6 military Humvee and restoring a French recreational tank. In 2024, Rawlings announced he was rebuilding his car collection with a $1 million budget, actively seeking rare muscle cars from the 1960s to 90s. His YouTube content exploded in popularity because fans could finally see the real craftsmanship without artificial drama or time limits. The Gas Monkey brand expanded globally, with new restaurant locations including Gas Monkey Sturgis in South Dakota and Gas Monkey Ice House in Dallas, featuring 28 beers on tap and regular car shows. Rawlings also found personal happiness, marrying Katerina Deason in a romantic beach ceremony in Deason, previously married to billionaire Darwin Deason, brought stability to his chaotic personal life. Their relationship appears genuinely solid, with Rawlings frequently sharing their adventures on social media and crediting her with helping him find balance between his ambitious projects and personal well-being. Richard Rawlings didn't disappear, get imprisoned, or fade into obscurity. He evolved into something bigger than Fast and Loud ever was. By breaking free from Discovery's corporate chains, surviving legal battles that would have destroyed weaker entrepreneurs, and building a direct relationship with his fans through YouTube and social media, he created an automotive empire worth an estimated $25 million. The transformation from Discovery Channel prisoner to independent mogul proved that sometimes the real villain isn't the controversial star, but the corporate machine trying to control them. Today, Rawlings controls every aspect of his content, from the projects they choose to the way they're presented. His podcast Monkey Trap covers everything from car builds to dating disasters, showing the authentic side TV audiences never saw. The Gas Monkey brand generates millions through merchandise sales, energy drink licensing deals, and restaurant ventures. He proved that burning bridges with the past can build the future you actually want, and his turned out more successful than anyone imagined, jail rumors and all.